taking a peek at the 9-inch infotainment system inside of the Mitsubishi Outlander. There are technically two different screens that are available. So there's a smaller 8-inch and then there's also the 9-inch. Big difference between the two of them is that this larger one, you've got factory navigation, and then you've also got wireless Apple CarPlay. But regardless of the screen that you're in, you're always going to get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It's just going to be wired in the smaller screen, wireless CarPlay, but still wired Android Auto in this larger screen. But let's dive in. I'll show you everything that you need to know. So the first thing I'm going to point out is that you've got your power button there along the outside, and that's going to be for your audio. So audio on versus off that way. There's a volume rocker there. There's also a tuning rocker, so you can tune this way if you want to, but you can also push if you wanted to adjust different sound settings. So adjust your bass, adjust your treble, balance, left, right, your fade as well, and then button press again in order to get back to that main screen. You've got a series of other buttons along the very bottom, so you could push this way to go to a nighttime mode, in auto mode as well, or you could do a push and hold in order to be able to turn the display off, and then just button press again in order to turn the display back on again. You can also tune between different stations this way if you wanted to. You can hit this for your audio, button press again to get to different sources, so there are a boatload of different sources available. Menu to get back to the home screen, hot button press to get to your map. There's a camera button for that full 360 available camera, and then just a basic back button there as well. From there, you've got your home screen. So there are 3 individual home screens there, and you do have the flexibility to customize them. So you can customize the menu here. So customize home menu. How do you want to adjust it? So you can see there, you've got your little screen. You could do a drag and drop as well. So you can drag so many different things into these spots, and that's the same for all 3 pages. So you've got the flexibility to really customize this screen and make it your own. But if you've done too much, you can just hit reset in order to bring it back to the factory default instead. Like so many things. You can have text messages show up, call, history, USB, etc. And you can have, like I said, adjust it out for any of these options. You can also just do a drag and hold if you wanted to trash that icon from that unique spot. And then button press back home. You've got FM, lumbar massage settings available in some trim levels. So some versions of the Outlander are going to have massage chair seats, massage for the driver passenger side, so you can toggle it on this way. There's also a button just to the left-hand side on the driver's seat, or the right side of the passenger to adjust it. And then you can also adjust the intensity and the speed as well. It's a pretty neat setting. And then back, you've got your basic home screen there, so you can go home, FM, etc., search, and then you've also got a series of other options there. But let's hop back to, I guess, the technical home screen here, and let's dive through. Actually, you know what we're going to do? Let's go along the bottom and go this way. So we're going to start off by adding in a phone. So as of right now, no phone's connected. So in order to add a phone on your phone, you're going to pull up Bluetooth, and you're waiting for Mitsubishi to show up. PIN numbers match up, so we're going to pair. Do you want to allow contacts and favorites to sync? This is not my car, so I'm going to say no to that one. Obviously, if it was yours, you could say yes. And then the best part, would you like to use Apple CarPlay with this device? Yes, we definitely want to make sure we do that. And it'll take a second there. Connecting, and look at that. Wireless Apple CarPlay. Absolutely love it. But on the CarPlay screen, you've got the current time, connection level, and battery level, which map was open last, which audio application was open last, which miscellaneous application was open last. And then you've also got icon view versus your home screen there instead. So you can kind of adjust out, swiping if you'd like to, go back home this way. You've got your map, as I mentioned, and Apple does have the option for a few different things. So you can see there, you've got Apple Maps, there's Google Maps, and Waze, and they all work the same way. So on the Apple side of things, there's no pinch to zoom capabilities, but you can search for addresses easily. And it's the same way, whether it's Google Maps, Apple Maps, or Waze on the Apple side, no pinch to zoom. So in order to zoom in or out, you've got to go along the side this way to do it. You can search for addresses. This is Google Maps, so you can look at route options if you wanted to avoid highways, toll roads, and ferries. You could change the map colors, show traffic, north up, volume, things like that. So you can really customize it. It's Google Maps. It's useful. The map application that I use the most, though, Waze. And the big reason why, like, it works the exact same way as Google Maps with one exception. And that's that if we zoom out for a second, watch this. You can see different things that people have marked along the map. So we've got different icons there letting us know that there's something up at the street. If there was a cop that was somewhere, people typically mark that off if there were accidents and things like that. So you can see what's going on the route, and you can also mark things off yourself. So if you see a cop staking out, you can give people a heads up and let them know if there was a crash, hazard, block lanes, whatever the case may be. So Waze, my favorite application. Now, one downside is that the screen does not support video playback. So there's YouTube music that's available, but Apple CarPlay and even the basic screen itself, you can't play back video whatsoever. But there are different options, like podcasts are available here. You've also got the option for audiobooks. There are so many different things. Hoopla's a library app. Live One's a radio app. There are so many different options that are available inside of this screen. It's actually pretty wild. And then on the device, so on your cell phone, if you wanted to customize it, you can go under your settings, general, and then CarPlay. You're going to find your vehicle. You can forget it. You can customize the screen, or you can toggle CarPlay off while the phone is locked. So if you're running into connectivity issues though, and it's not working properly, I've put together a walkthrough video diagnosing CarPlay issues, and you can find that down in the description of this video. But you've got the flexibility to customize. So let's say if you love your podcasts, you want to have, say, Waze along the very top there as well, you can adjust it in. And then any one that has the minus next to it, you can remove it from the screen on top of that. Now, if you're not a fan of what you've done, you've removed your favorite apps, you can add them back in along the very bottom of your phone. But if you don't like the layout, the changes that you've made, you can do a reset in order to bring you back to the factory default screen there instead. Straightforward. You could push the menu button in order to hop out of CarPlay. Button press to get back in, button press to get back to your menu again. If you go to connections, we're connected right now to the iPhone for CarPlay, but if you wanted to disconnect from CarPlay, you could push this way, and that's going to hook you up over Bluetooth for your phone connection instead. You can hook up for your Apple CarPlay that way. You can hook up for your phone connection, for your media connection, do a mix and match there. So CarPlay is connected over Wi-Fi versus your traditional Bluetooth connection for phone calls and for audio. But you can use all of that anyways right through CarPlay. It's just going to be a matter of preference, how you have it set up. But I know that's a lot of info, but that's how you set up an iPhone inside of the vehicle. Setting up an Android device is the exact same process. So if you weren't on the screen, let's say you're on the menu screen, again, you're just going to connections. From there, you're just going to hit add new. On your phone, you're looking for, should take a second there, Mitsubishi Motors again. Perfect. PIN numbers match up, so we're going to pair. Look at that. Do you want to allow access to contacts and messages? This is not my car, so I'm going to say no to this one. But I mean, obviously, if it was yours, you could say yes to that. And we're fully connected. And you can see there. So one cool thing is that you can do a mix and match. So you can have one phone connected for phone calls, one for audio. You can kind of do a mix and match that way. So it's either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can't do both, but you can do a mix and match of these four if you'd like to. Now, one other thing you might have noticed is that it's not giving me the option of connecting to Android Auto, and that's because it's got to be a USB connection. And you need to make sure that you're using a USB data cable. It needs to have the data transfer icon on there, or else it's not going to work. So from there, all you're going to do, plug yourself in down the center stack, and just plugging yourself into your phone. Take a second there. Certain information is going to be shared. Sure, that's cool. It'll take a second to connect. Oh, there we go. You got to press the button in order to connect. Well, that's a first. All right, so hold on. Diagnose it in real time. So just going to disconnect again. Let's reconnect again. See what happens. There we go. All right, so if you ever get that issue, just disconnect from USB, reconnect, and look at that. It's playing now. Do I want to use Android Auto? Yes. And on the phone, you want to make sure you hit next. And it should take a second there. Oh, okay. Guess it helps if I do that. It should be connecting. It should be connected. Hold on, let's go home. Oh, there we go. All right, just took a little second to do it. But as you can see there, fully connected to Android Auto as well. And you can see you've got your little icon view there. So you can hop back home into this icon view, go back to the screen, push there in order to be able to activate your assistant as well. And then you can see a few different icons along the bottom. So first thing, along the bottom right side, you can see your current time, connection level, and your battery level. And then there are a few other icons there. So if you push the map icon, you've got full Google Map capability with pinch to zoom. That's one thing I love about Android Auto is that it's pinch to zoom. But you can also zoom in and out this way, search for addresses that way, look at different routes, so perspective options. You can hit the gear icon in order to look at a few things. So if you wanted to look at route options, and let's say you wanted to avoid motorways, toll roads, ferries, things like that, you've got the flexibility to do it. And then back home from there. You can hit back home there in order to get to this split screen. And then you've got a boatload of other options that are available for the icons. So you can see there are a few different options available. But if you've got Waze installed on your phone, but it's not actually showing up, I've put together a walkthrough video explaining how to actually use Waze inside of the vehicle. So you can find that walkthrough down in the description of this video. But there are a series of other options available. Then on the screen, on your phone I should say, if you search for Android Auto, you're going to look for Android Auto settings. And when you click through, you've got a boatload of different options available. But we're looking for Customize Launcher. So you go Customize Launcher, and you can see all of the different apps that are available. If you wanted to, you could do a drag to the top, drag around as well. But it's not dynamic the same way it was on the iPhone side of things. So in order to be able to save any changes that you've made here, easiest thing is just to disconnect, reconnect, and then watch this. Back through icon view, and boom. The changes that we made have now come into effect. So it's that easy being able to customize the screen. I wish it was dynamic the same way it was on the iPhone side of things, but still straightforward there. If you hop back into your connections, you can see that both phones are connected. Wi-Fi, USB, I'm connected there specifically because I'm connected over USB for the phone there. And devices, if you hit info, you can see the information or you can delete. And yes, so we're going to remove that phone from the vehicle. And take a second again, and there we go. So I'm still connected to the iPhone for audio, and it's reconnecting automatically for phone calls as well. And then if you wanted to, hit there, you can see device information, or hit delete, yes, and we've deleted the phones from the vehicle. And it's that easy setting up Android and iPhone devices inside of the Outlander. All right, from there, let's head back home. And you've got basic information, nothing exciting there. It's a lot of SiriusXM information. Ooh, I guess the one thing, where am I? GPS location data. So you can see your actual latitude and longitude. So if you end up getting lost, you're not sure where you are, you can see your information there. You get stuck because you're off-roading, you can pull up your GPS info and let people know where you actually are. Really, really useful if you're off-roading and you're not sure what's up. You've got audio screen, and when you hit audio, there are so many options available. So AM, FM, actually, let's go audio again so you can see. So AM, FM, SiriusXM, USB, there are 2 different USB options available. So if we plug a USB stick in there as well, you'll see in a second that's going to pop up. But yeah, so many different options available here. So you can see there, USB device is now detected. So let's just hit any of these options. You can see all of your available presets there as well. So you've got up to 12 different presets. You can't delete them, I don't think. FM menu. Yes, you can't delete them, but you can overwrite them. So in order to be able to save a station, all you're going to do is tune to whatever station you want to. So you can use the tuning rocker there if you want, or just use your voice. And then all you're going to do, push and hold. You heard that little chime. That means that your preset is now saved. And then if we go to AM, it's the same idea. So you've got unique stations available. So presets, I should say, for each source. SiriusXM has a boatload of other options available. Bluetooth audio if your phone is connected, USB audio as well. So you can see USB music, all the different options that are available. But like I said, it doesn't support video playback. It's strictly audio playback inside the vehicle. You can change your source this way if you'd like to. So let's hop back to FM for a second. So as mentioned, tuning this way, HD radio. Some radio stations, they broadcast digitally. You're going to get better reception at the end of the day. It's just that some stations don't. Let's see from here, if we go back to FM menu, see radio text and things like that. If you jump into source, oh, actually, could hit it along the bottom. Let's jump into SiriusXM for a second, because there are options for SiriusXM specifically. So if you're a SiriusXM user, you can direct tune, you can tag the song or the artist. So let's say if you're on any, oh, of course I'm not subscribed. All right, this is a press unit, but with the SiriusXM menu, if you were on a station and you love the artist or the song that was playing, you could tag the artist or tag the song. So on any station, if you've got radio going and that station, or if the artist or the song comes on, it'll let you know and you can automatically tune to that station, which is kind of cool. You can look at your favorite artists, favorite songs. You can edit your favorite artists, and there are so many different options. Tune to start means that if you turn the vehicle off, turn it back on again, it's going to tune back to that station again when you start up. Yeah, tons of options. And then you can go into settings in order to be able to customize a boatload of other things, but I'll show you the settings once we get to that screen. But that's how you're going to adjust here. It's pretty straightforward. Back home, next up is going to be map. So as you see, you've got factory navigation. You can search for addresses there. You can search by GPS coordinates, so it's going to be latitude first, longitude second. You can search by point of interest icon, so start typing in an address. So we're going to look for different Tim Hortons. The downside is that it doesn't give you the address. So you're just going to select one randomly. And there you go. So you can see there different options that are available. You can start, add it to the route. More routes of different options are available. So you can get the shortest, the most eco-friendly, or the fastest. Turn-by-turn list. Let's see, different options that are available. So you can save the location, save the route. But let's say if we want to add it to the route. So we've got that as a destination. We could then look for different options as well. So if we wanted to add a different destination, we can search. So let's say if we wanted to get gas. You can see there, different options. Let's just hit one of these random ones and we're just going to go add to route and start. So we've got two different options that are available. So really useful because if you've got multiple places that you're going, you can kind of adjust this out and add in a bunch of different waypoints. So you've got your end destination and then a waypoint is everything in between. You can cancel the route. You can see the turn-by-turn list that you have to take in order to get there. You can detour if you need to. You can change to the fastest, the most energy efficient, or the shortest route that's available. And then there are different options available here. Nothing overly exciting. Cancel the route, recalculate, guidance settings. So if you wanted to adjust your guidance volumes, you can do that. If you don't want to get announcements for the guidance voice as you come to an upcoming turn, you can also disable that as well. Back, you can save it, and then it's really the basics there. You can reroute, zoom in or out. You can do a pinch to zoom this way as well. So straightforward there if you want. You can hit the map button to kind of zoom yourself back out and cancel. So it's that simple using it. You can hit the search icon there again in order to get back to your search menu. Straightforward. You can call assistant. So I've hit this button one too many times. So this is an assistant. So it's essentially going to be for your Mitsubishi Assistant. You can hit there to look at saved locations, map settings, map icons, traffic information, and a boatload of other things. There, you can hit this in order to change out between different headings. So north up versus 3D, etc. Yeah, that's the basics. Different destinations, you can add a home address. And one of the benefits there, if you hit the voice command prompt on the steering wheel, you could say navigate, you could say go home, and it would automatically take you to whatever that home address is that you've saved. Destinations, you can go home, go to work, street address, point of interest icons, previous destinations. So you can see all the different addresses that we've gone to previously. You can go back to see a boatload of other options. So search latitude, longitude as well. So it's a lot of information, but that's the basics of using factory navigation. And then you've also got your connections, which we saw earlier. So devices, USB. Actually, I've got that USB stick connected now. So you can see the basic information for the USB stick. And let's see. Next up, a boatload of different settings that are available. So starting off with connections, again, duplicated. So you'll see a few of these things duplicated a few spots. Navigation settings, we've got different options for maps. So do you want 2D, 3D, etc.? You can also have different options available. So what do you want showing up on the map for point of interest icons? Let's see, nothing exciting there. Hop back. Guidance settings. So do you, again, want to adjust your volume, voices, things like that? Route preferences, the fastest, shortest, most eco-friendly. So again, you'll see a lot of these things pop up a few different spots or a few different ways to get to them. Let's see, nothing overly exciting there though. You can delete your presets, so delete saved items, delete previous destinations, delete all of them. So let's say if you are in a press vehicle, I'm going to do that at the end to get rid of any destinations that I've searched for using this system. And back. Yeah, simple. Sound settings are available. And let's see, exciting ones there. So you can adjust the balance, treble, fade, things like that. Normally what I'd recommend, let's see here, that's actually not bad. So the bass cranked a little bit, the treble down by a bit, in my opinion, tends to sound good. Do you want it focused on the front or the rear? driver versus passenger side. And then speed compensated volume. So as you go faster, slower, it's automatically going to lower or raise the volume as necessary. Volumes and beeps. You can adjust your audio volume. You can adjust it this way as well. You can adjust your guidance volume, ringtone volumes, the beep. So whether or not you get the beeps and things like that, gonna be a matter of preference. Actually, that beep's gonna drive me nuts. Hold on. Volume beep. Toggle that off. You can adjust the clock. So you can turn the clock off there on the top right side. And there are 3 unique modes that are available. So you've got your auto mode, so the vehicle figures out what's going on with the actual time. You can lock it out to a time zone as well. So if you're straddling a time zone and you're constantly flipping back or forward, you'd have the flexibility to lock out to a specific time zone instead. Or you can go full manual mode and you can set the clock manually yourself. And like I said, your best bet is just going to go to auto. And then do you want that 12 or 24-hour mode instead? So that military time. You can offset as well, nothing exciting there. Customizing the menu, which we've already seen, so you've got the flexibility to adjust the screen out. Customize the audio sources. So when you're actually in the audio menu, which sources do you want showing up and where do you want them? So if you want to have SiriusXM there first, you can kind of adjust out and really customize it and make it your own. From there, Mitsubishi Connect services, nothing exciting. System voice. So that's your voice command prompt.
Please say or select to canceling voice recognition.
So that's your assistant. Initial voice prompt, I don't recommend that. So that's this. So rather than
voice recognition.
So rather than doing that initial prompt, it's just going to do it. And then short prompts essentially is going to make things happen a little bit faster. So watch this. Tune to 94.9 FM. It just does it now. So rather than going through the whole rigmarole where it gives you different options available, by turning off the initial prompt and giving short prompts, it just does things rather than making sure that it's checking with you. So if you're not a fan of those extra prompts, definitely do this. Do you want a male versus female voice? And how fast or slow do you want the assistant to talk? Camera options, display. So you can see there, you can adjust the brightness, contrast, tints, and black levels as well. So if you wanted to customize the backup camera, you've got the flexibility to do it. Seat, your lumbar settings, which we saw earlier. So you can toggle the massage chair seats on or off for the driver passenger for the first row. If your Mitsubishi is equipped if it's equipped with it, Mitsubishi Eclipse. Aha. A series of other settings. So you can toggle the display on or off. You can adjust the brightness, the contrast, and the black levels there as well. Language, you can change out to either English, French, or Spanish. Different options that are available. And then from there, there's also the option for your units. So the measurement units is an interesting one because you can tweak out a number of different settings. So you can go either kilometers or miles. And when you do that, it tweaks out what's going on inside of the cluster screen. So it's kind of neat. So if you're going down to the States, staying up in Canada, etc., you can also adjust the temperature. So not only does that adjust what's going on inside of the cluster, but even down the center stack there. So you can change between Celsius or Fahrenheit if you want to. Pretty useful. From there, you've got different options for your keyboard. Return it to factory default instead. If there are system updates that are available, so you can also go through and see what updates are available for map and things like that. Edit app, nothing exciting there. And edit user. User profiles is an interesting one. So if you've got multiple people driving the vehicle, I definitely recommend setting up unique users. And the reason why, it's going to remember all of your presets, your phones that are connected. You can have it remember your key fob, your seat settings, and so many other things based off of a user. You can have multiple users connected and it's just going through. You can edit the username if you want to. You can edit the icon image. You can't upload your own. Oh, can you upload your own? Oh, no way. You can upload your own now. That's amazing. So you could upload your own icon. It just has to be JPEG, or does it support PNG? Yeah. So JPEG, PNG. So if you wanted to upload options yourself, that's really cool. I didn't realize I could do that now. You'd have the flexibility to do that. Neat. And then you can also lock it to a unique key as well. So like I said, if you've got multiple people driving the vehicle, user profiles, very useful. Welcome message. Do you want that on when you first turn the vehicle on? Yay or nay? So I know that is a lot of information, but that's everything that you need to know about the infotainment system inside of the Mitsubishi Outlander.